Thanks so much for doing this. Like, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm wondering what the last 3 years have been like for you both.
It was like a roller coaster. So helpless, so scared, so worried all the time. Worried about what could happen. Worried about Aaida, our kids. Scared all the time. But I was, at the same time, we lose hope, but I gained hope. The biggest blessings in the 3 years we got was our birth of 2 kids. I missed one of that, and then the biggest blessing was having us found Stockwoods, Mr. Nadir
Your lawyer.
and Alex.
Yeah.
Why did you miss the birth of your second child?
I was in custody at the time, and after 2 months, after a month or so, she delivered. And I remember I was on the phone when she was about to deliver. I was able to talk to her, and she was telling me she's all alone in the hospital because Saima was taking care of the kids, my sister, so there was no one else with her. And then she delivered alone in the hospital. That was not easy. And then our kid Alyan, he couldn't stay without her, and Saima had to drop him to the hospital on that night. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me hospital had to make an exception to let a child live with a mom who just delivered hours ago to another baby. It was not easy. It was terrible. It was horrible.
With all this hanging over you, your family, were you just looking forward to that trial? Did you just want that trial date to get here faster?
I was asking Mr. Nadir all this time and thinking every day, maybe this is the day the charges will be dropped.
Mm.
Maybe this is the day we will wake up and he will call us. Every time I get his call or email, we get this hope to pick up fast. Maybe he'll tell us today the charges were dropped, but it didn't. And we lost hope a lot of times, but he regained that for us. As I said, he's not just a lawyer, he was our doctor, our psychiatrist, our lawyer. Whenever we lose hope, he comes in. And in the past 3 years, we lost a lot of friends, so many relations. And that's where Alex comes in.
She's like a friend.
She's like friend, family, more than a family. The whole Stockwood firms, they have been so supportive. They fought for us without having us pay them, and we couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe it. And today we can't thank everyone enough. The whole Canada who's supporting us, who is helping us to honor our commitment to Mr. Nadir and Alex and the whole Stockwoods firm, and then we can't thank you enough. Everyone of you.
You come here to Canada, your hopes is to start a new life. 2 years in, this happens. Has this changed your view of Canada?
You know, I guess in the beginning, we came here and then COVID happened and then we were home. We didn't get to really learn about Canada as much. And then this unfortunate incident happened. And then we never really thought about anything, just prayed that we come out of this. There were a lot of, not too many ups, more downs in those 3 years, but you know, I feel like on Sunday everything changed, and I guess now it's a time where we'll finally learn about Canada, and so far it's been beautiful.
Can we talk about Sunday a little bit? The day you're waiting the jury to come back with this verdict, and you can feel the heaviness in that courtroom. You know, you start sobbing, noises from a human being that really you hear when someone is in pain. You collapse, you hear the not guilty verdict.
Yeah,
What goes through your mind?
I couldn't breathe. It was like all those 3 years were the haunting years were going away at that moment, and especially the words from the judge. That gave us so much hope, relief, and it was like a battle for us with the evil and good. And on that day, it felt like all those 3 years of evil. We should just try to move on and forget about it. It was very worrisome day. We were very, very hopeful, but we were again at the same time we didn't know what could happen, and it was this huge burden which I felt was gone after the verdict came in, and I can't thank enough again to our counsel, Mr. Nadir and Miss Alex, for their hard work, for allowing the people to see the actual truth.
Yeah.
What do you want people to know about that night back in 2021?
The actual truth, basically, what we said, what actually happened. We always wanted them to know that, but we were not, able to tell them. And even the late officer's wife, I wish that she would believe in our truth and know that we never wanted any of this to happen.
I know how Aaida struggled the 3 months when I was not there for her. So I can't even begin to imagine what she would be going through.
Yeah.
Right?
Umar's lawyer asked you the day you were testifying a question, the very last question he asked you, and part of your response said that you felt betrayed by what police told the media. And at that point, the police chief came out and said that this was an intentional and deliberate act.
Yeah.
When you saw that, what did you feel?
I was confused. I was shocked. I so sincerely spoke to them in the morning after waiting the whole night, and then coming and speaking with them, and I'm telling them this is what happened. I was there, and I know they're not there, so I want to help them understand.
You're giving your statement to them.
Yeah, when I gave my statement, I'm like, this is what happened, and I was like, at least I felt like I helped them, understand what happened. But then when I go home and I find out on the news that it was the complete opposite, and it was by the police themselves, I did feel betrayed. I thought they were gonna help us, but everything was just so negative. Whatever they spoke about Umar, it was sad.
There was your lawyer was saying that you were getting a lot of hate after your name was released to the public. What impact did the press conference, those words and the way the information was provided to the public, what impact did it have on you?
When I came back from the bail, when I came to house, we were scared. I couldn't go out with my kids, but when my kids go out with her, I was scared, and I was worried about them. I kept praying when they will come back. We are always looking out of the windows if someone is there who's gonna hurt us. we had surveillances all over the place to keep looking out for something bad to happen. We were scared all these 3 years. We didn't meet anyone, so many people, but there's not many people we met other than our council. But we were scared from almost everyone.
I guess people were scared of being associated with us. You know?
And we don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because
we
they didn't want to associate with us.
Because of what was told.
Yeah.
And we don't blame them.
Yeah.
Was there a part of you that just, wanted to come out, do interviews, or just tell the world your story and say, hey, this is what happened to us that night?
Mr. Nadir did suggested us to go for a publication ban, which is another hearing.
Yeah.
So the truth comes
uplift
out.
Of the
the uplift of the
the
publication ban. Yes.
Yeah.
So the truth comes out.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the decision didn't come
in our favor,
and we respect the decision. But it took 3 years for the truth to come out, but thankfully it came out.
Yeah.
And we just wish and hope to move on from it, and especially for Alian, that he recovers from it.
He was there that night. He was 2 years old. Now he's 5.
Yeah.
Now he's 5, but whenever he goes out with Aaida, I'm scared that Aaida will come back home again crying and tell me Alian again saw a black van and ask me, Mama, make sure this van doesn't hit our car and take over Baba again. So I want to move on, but I want him to move on from this, and I'm really struggling how we will do it. And I just wish that Alian doesn't have any negative impact.
What do you tell him?
I remember when trial started, and my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and Umar had to go to court from morning till sometimes late in the evening, and the kids would be like, where's Baba, where's everyone? And we would be like, Baba has a project, he's working on a project, and we'll pray for that project to be successful. And on Sunday, when we went home, and he hugged Alian and he said, Baba won the project. That was just so, it was worth the wait for that moment to come out. Because Umar has been he's not been really present, the kids are around him, but I can see he's not there. He's always thinking about what's going to happen.
And the first thing he said when we told him that Baba won the project, he said, can you take me out now? Because for the past 3 years, I couldn't take him out.
Why not?
I was house arrested. I couldn't go out with him alone. One of the shorties have to be with me if I want to go out with my kids. So we didn't get many chances to do that.
I noticed in court, the majority of the time, you're always looking down. And something that Aaida said was, you're somebody who doesn't show a lot of emotion. But there was 2 times during her testimony where it seems like you were breaking down. The first was when she was handed a photo of Elian that night, and what he looked like. Why was that so difficult to see for you, to watch your wife breaking down on the stand? What were you thinking?
Because it was that 2 years old kid photo who went through with all that and couldn't recover in the past 3 years. He was so young, so innocent. He had to see all of that, and then we couldn't grasp it.
That night was for him, actually. And
it was Canada Day for him.
It turned out to be a tragic night.
Yeah. And You talked about the fact that he brings up the black van. He remembers what happened that night?
I remember closer to when that incident happened, it was more frequent. He would speak about that black car and where's Baba? Don't let them take Baba. It was very frequent. But I was so occupied with everything without Umar. I had to take care of other things, and I feel like I did neglect him a lot. I didn't know what to say to him. And you know, Faiza, those were the times where I would also think about the officer's wife. Now she's alone, handling everything herself. And I couldn't imagine any more than those almost 3 months. And that's why I can't imagine how it is for her, really.
Umar, you also brought up your bond with Elian, the father and son bond, and you talked about the sorrow you have for the Northrup family. Why was it important for you to talk about that, to address that during your testimony?
When I came back from the detention center the first night, Aaida and I saw the funeral. We saw the kids. We read about them. We read about their bond with the late officer Northrup. And we felt so horrible to this day. And my bond with Alian, whenever I see him smiling, whenever I hug him, I always think about the 3 kids who do not have the father anymore. And that thought, I just can't move on, and I don't think I can ever move on from that.
Yeah. It seems like as this trial progressed, there was some shift in public opinion. Members of the public have their own questions, and a lot of people have felt that you were unfairly treated. Did you think, or how would you have hoped this to be how would you have hoped this would have been handled?
Whenever someone is telling us that people are started talking good, I always tell them why it took so long for them to realize the truth. She always said the same thing.
Yeah.
Why it took 3 years.
And then we tell ourselves that, you know, it's not their fault. But now the response that we're getting, the messages, it's so overwhelming. Like, people praying for us, they don't know us. It's so beautiful. They're telling their entire families are praying for us. They feel for us, and that means a lot to us. It just makes us forget all the bad things that happen, because now they know the truth, and that's how they're reacting. And I'm sure if they knew the truth earlier, then they would be reacting the same way.
Have you gone out? Have people recognized you?
No. Yesterday there was, when we were out, someone did recognize and said, apologized.
Yeah.
And that was
Just
again
a random
something.
guy and saying he's sorry for what happened. That's amazing.
That's after the verdict come just yesterday.
Yeah.
How does it
Before
feel?
that, we thought, in the past 3 years, we always thought there's not many good people in Canada other than Alex, Nadir, people here at Stockwoods. But after the verdict come,
Just
we
changed
couldn't
everything.
believe this has changed everything, and how the people have supported us, helping us to.
Could you have imagined all this?
No.
Not at
No.
all. Not at all. And we are so thankful. We can't even think how we can
Thank
repay
everyone.
their love, support. It's so overwhelming.
And now it seems like the focus is shifting to Toronto Police, the 3 officers who testified, and claims of collusion, and a review and procedure of how plainclothes officers approach people. the police chief has said that he has asked for a review. What do you think about that?
I just wish and hope that people realize themselves without any reviews. They just, everyone learn something from this incident. There shouldn't be a need for any review or anything. I just hope everyone just realize.
Yeah. And like I said, we heard a lot of information in court that we didn't know almost 3 years ago, including that while you were in handcuffs, a police officer punched you. Taking that into consideration and what happened the night prior, are you looking to take any further action against Toronto police?
We didn't have a chance to think anything now. We didn't speak anything with Nader and Alex yet. It's just so overwhelming. First the verdict and how the Canada has responded back. We can't think of anything else other
time
than
with family,
that.
we can't think of anything.
Did this experience ruin your view of Canada, of wanting to stay here to see how you were portrayed the last few years?
I don't know how if you'll be able to live here, but we want to. But everything changed after that verdict comes. Everything changed, and especially when the judge told me you're free to go, and she apologized. It felt like Canada spoke today. Mr. Nader always told me the truth will come out, you just have to wait. Whenever I lose hope, he would tell me, don't lose hope, and he was right. And I just can't thank him enough on all the aspects for fighting for the truth, for anything.
Yeah.
Alex, who was behind everything, who was not just our liar or best friend now.
The entire country heard the not guilty verdict. Why is it so important for you to share your story, to let people in, to let them know this is who we are and this is what we stand for?
You know, I guess it's because of the image that they had of us previously. It was important for them to know that what the truth was, and they know that, but that we like Canada now. Basically, it's we were just scared before, and like we keep saying it again and again, we don't blame them, but we were scared about living here. But now it just, everything has changed.
You see a future?
We do.
Yeah.
You know, they're such amazing people, so humble, so loving. Just change the perception so quickly. You know.
Yeah.
What comes next for you guys?
I haven't thought about
anything. I know when I hug my kids, those hugs were without any burden anymore, without thinking what could happen. And then I think I just keep wanna continue hugging them for a while. That's just the future for now. I'm thinking about.
Do you guys want to add anything else? That's the last question I have.
Just
No.
thank you. Thank
you for letting people know us. And you know, we actually really wanted to thank this firm, Stockwoods. We cannot imagine anyone doing what they did. It was not just a case. We felt they were like family, you know. We're not just like, I'm sure Umar would say it better because he spent more time with them.
More than a family. I mean, we lost family too.
Yeah.
So they were our actual family after the incident, and I don't know if any lawyer would do that, would fight for you without asking anything.
Yeah.
We we made a commitment, but they never ask for that. And
They're
we were
so
like,
focused.
how can they not ask?
Yeah.
And we didn't know how we will honor that commitment, but
We really
Canada comes in there,
Yeah.
and then we can't thank anyone enough for all the support, love, and for the contributions.
of course.
Yeah, you already reached your goal.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much.